Alrighty. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. I think I will open Fresco and warm up there. Sorry, everybody, I'm tired. Got up at 5:30. All right. That's a little disconcerting. I hear running water someplace, and I shouldn't. Huh. All right. And there are no tools. Okay, Fresco. Should we try again? Still no tools. They are here. They're just not displaying. So what do we do? Not that. There. Try again. There we go. What's all that? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, right. How about a chat window? I will open a chat window. I already have one. There's nothing in it. Okay. All right, so this will be one of the guys watching the ping pong game. Not what I meant, but I'll just go on with it. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, it's Les. Just stopping by to say hi. Got to head out in a bit, but maybe I'll still catch the end of your stream later on. So, uh, Ed's mother died yesterday of COVID. She was 85 and in poor health, but he won't be around today. He didn't want to bring us down with his somber vibe. So, just thought I'd let you know. Yeah. No, not that. Ooh, wow, that's big. Better. Ed's a stand-up guy. His mother brought him up well. I trust she'll be watching over him, and I say that because I believe in that sort of stuff. Yeah. I'm afraid I have very little to say on this occasion other than it sucks. Let's watch this one unfold quick style. It's odd. Yesterday you were talking on a 5-minute video on YouTube that I caught about last times and not knowing when the last time of something or some experience is. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know when you've spoken to your mother for the last time, usually. I'll go ahead and export that. Let's see. All right, there's that. So, well, I won't be doing a live stream tomorrow, but I'll be here on Monday. So, take care, Les. Safe travels. May your work be fruitful. Alrighty, so that guy is going to be one of the characters who's just standing around watching. What's in this panel here? Yeah. Okay, so let's get the text in. All right. So now, let's just settle in and prepare to spend some time in this panel. Thanks, Les. I hope to. So, the dude we just drew. Okay. He's over here. Drawing on the wrong layer. Let's draw on the sketch layer. There we go, much better. Okay, this is not a cartoon. Let's take some time with it. I love that though, look at that. Oh yes, it's a cartoon. Damn straight it's a cartoon. Okay. Take all that away. People will have wide eyes, though. Whoa, what's happening? What is happening? Time to have his beard? Okay. Now let's have his mouth open a bit. Oh. Okay, let's take this dude, make him a bit smaller. Move him off to the side. All right. So we got nobody watching. I am so tempted to bail on this live stream today. I am so tired. Oh, that would be a bad precedent. Bad precedent. All right. Who is this person? Make her a woman. No, she can't be pissed though. She's gonna have wide eyes. What? Hey, Paul. How you doing? There is bad news. Here, I will read Ed's words exactly. Ed writes, "Hello, KMO. I hope this message finds you well and in good spirits. My mother, Mary, passed away from COVID-19 yesterday. She was 85 and had been living the past 5 years in a convalescent home. Her passing is something of a mercy. I'll be taking a pause from live stream participation today so as not to drop such a heavy in all y'all's laps. But do feel free to share this news if you so wish. Have a good stream and a good weekend. I hope to rejoin you again on Monday afternoon. Cheers, Ed." So, just that. So, what's up? I'm super tired. I was just toying with the idea of bailing on the stream. Les was here briefly, but he had to go run errands. Ed won't be around. So, actually, you showed up just in time to keep me from bailing. Let's see. Whoa, it's huge. There we go. Yep. COVID is everywhere, and she seems like she was particularly susceptible. Your hemp crop came back hot. Well, if you need any help destroying that crop, let me know. I can incinerate it for you. In very small quantities over a long period of time. That's a bummer. Do you know how it came back hot? Did it get like what's the word I'm looking for? There's some marijuana. No, because even in outdoor cultivation, you're going to keep your male plants. You're just going to tear out the male plants, so there shouldn't be a lot of pollen floating on the wind. Anyway, I'm absolutely no expert in that, so rather than talk out my ass, I'll just say that's a bummer. How much do you think this lesson's going to cost you? How about a pencil? That'll work better. It cost me over $700. Fuck. It had 0.45% THC, where the legal limit is 0.3. There is no real explanation for how THC increases. That sucks. And you have to show evidence that you've destroyed the crop. Part of what the labs are doing is gathering data and doing research on what causes the jump in THC. It is weather. It is when the CBD reaches a threshold. This is not clear, according to the lab. Man, $700. I would be irritated, let me tell you. Okay. That is not the tool you think it is. Here we go. Okay, somebody a bit shorter here. This person's going to have their hand over their mouth. And that is going to be completely bald. Maybe I'll have a little little stubble. Can't look like pics of bangs. Yeah, something like that. Or sort of a poodle thing. I had to fill out a form before I can destroy it. It is based on the honor system, yes, but these lessons can only be learned through experience. But I wouldn't be surprised if they send a state trooper out to inspect afterwards. Well, that state trooper won't have any way of determining exactly how much crop you destroyed. It's kind of looking like Rosanna Dana. Alrighty. Well, there's our crowd scene. I'd expect to spend longer on it. Oh. Oh. No, I'm sticking around on behalf of my future self, who will curse me if I bail early. Although it wouldn't be the first time. And there are 2 beers waiting for me. 2 big beers, so 4 normal beers. What time is it? 2:41. I think I'll quit at 3. I'll get these folks inked in and maybe lay some color down on them, and that'll be that. Oh. So what sort of work are you doing today, Paul? Are you doing office work or outdoor work or both? Oh, this guy should be bald. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, 5 o'clock somewhere. Where is it 5 o'clock? It's, let's see, London is 5 hours ahead, so 2 hours ahead is like out in the Atlantic somewhere, I guess. Maybe Greenland or Iceland. Let's have a look at a time clock map. Let's see. Time zone map, I mean. Here, I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it. Should I give Wikipedia some money? Nah, I've given them plenty in the past. So here we are, U.S. East Coast. It is, we'll call it 3 o'clock. So 4 o'clock would be like in Venezuela. 5 o'clock. Yeah, Greenland. Most of Brazil. Actually, all of Brazil. I see the border of the time zone. Oh, wow. And all of Argentina, too, is all the same time zone. That's weird. Because Argentina is due south of me. Maybe a little bit east. All right, so, yeah, it's quitting time in Brazil. Jair Bolsonaro will be on my team if I decide to bail early. It is Friday, after all. All right. So check this out. I was searching for just pictures, group pictures of people in drug rehab, and what do we get? We get advertisements for drug rehab programs. So everybody is stylish and clean and white and thin and attractive and well-dressed. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe the real rehab clinic is not so pretty. The people in it are not so pretty. All right, so back over ink. Character ink. There we go. I don't think we need a ruler. So let's just grab a pen and get busy. Let's grab a thin pen now, like a 7. There. Sure, I'll send you a Zoom. I mean, I got to start a Zoom call, but that's no problem. I have one set up. Let's see. I just got to open an email and fetch the info. There we are. All right, Paul, I just sent you the Zoom call info.
This meeting is being recorded.
Sure enough. All right. So there I am on the screen in need of a haircut and a shave, for which I would spend considerably more than 25 cents. I mean, the shave. I would do myself, although I've spent a crap ton of money on razors over the years. All right. So back to Restream. Yeah. So anyway, Paul, you have the call info? Come on over.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Oh yeah. Let me mute. Yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have a camera on this laptop.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. No, but yeah, today I was doing a training. It was a GIS project management training. It was like a day and a half long, and it was super boring and irrelevant to my job. And while I had to do it, but it's over. Yeah, there's some things to be learned, I guess, in project management.
Oh, well. Long since gone are the days when I got paid to sit in meetings that didn't really apply to me.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because I like to feel accomplished at the end of the day. Yeah.
Well, you just got to imagine looking at your bank account on payday and thinking, I made money today.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I guess just for like the energy sake of it, like I have a lot of energy at the end of the day because I just like pretty much sit in bed and listen to a training.
So I went to my gym for the last time today.
Oh, really? I saw the vid, man. That's rough.
It is. Now, there is good news. And the good news is they're not selling off the equipment. They're just going to close the doors, and the facility will sit there with all that equipment until COVID is over, and then maybe somebody will come up with the capital to get it going again. But
yeah.
The current owners who just, hung up their spurs, they purchased the place, they purchased the business just like they purchased it in March. And then,
man.
Yeah. And then comes COVID.
So, yeah, it's tough. I used to go to a karate gym, and we stopped going in March and hadn't gone back. And I think he's still open, but I wonder who still went to the karate class and how he's staying afloat.
Well, young kids are not so susceptible to COVID, and
true.
So hopefully, the kids are still attending.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get back into that, though.
So was it actual karate or more of an MMA type thing, or what were you doing?
It was, I'll explain, it was a American Jeet Kune Do type, or American freestyle karate is another way to describe it. It was like a mixed martial arts, but it wasn't MMA. Did
it include grappling?
Yeah, we did some grappling.
All right.
We did some, some shrimping drills and some different holds and stuff like that. And it was pretty, pretty various, the kind of stuff we did. But the instructor was like a big Bruce Lee geek, pretty much, and so we're learning Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, although Jeet Kune Do really stresses flexibility, adaptability, not being beholden to tradition. So Jeet Kune Do is, that's all great, but it's not a very consistent product.
No, yeah, right. It's like the art without an art.
Yeah.
The discipline, like a discipline. But that we do things like wushus, which I think is from Kung Fu.
Sounds Chinese, yeah.
And so we'd have to learn a series of wushus, and every half year we did a belt test. But it was nice to do something after work and get my blood going, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably, psychologically, that was probably the main benefit of lifting weights, was just, really getting my breathing and my heart working hard.
Yeah.
But, few people ask, well, hey, can't you lift weights at home? It's like, yeah, but the stuff that's really beneficial to me is lifting heavy. And there's no way I'm going to go out and buy like 300 pounds worth of plates and keep them in my apartment, on the second floor. That would not fly.
Yeah, right? The ground floor would really love you.
Yeah.
I remember I lived in a townhouse when I was 18. And it was a two-story. We were on the second and third story in the townhouse. And then there was somebody underneath us. And, man, I used to practice my skateboard tricks in the floor. Constantly. So there'd be like a house full of punk asses, and we'd be listening to music real loud. I'd be sitting there practicing my skateboard.
Oh, and there was somebody visualizing your painful death many hours every day.
Yeah, this really nice old woman. And she said, do you lift weights or something? It's like, no. I lift weights. I said, well, I always hear all this stomping. It's like, oh, no, that's me doing kick flips and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember lots of noise from the upstairs neighbors when I was living with Olga in Brooklyn. All right.
Yeah, my last apartment I lived in, I was right next door to the maintenance guy. And I guess he could always smell when I was smoking. And like right afterwards, I'd come outside for some reason, and he'd always be like, "Are you tired?" Asking me all these weird questions and stuff. It was just like, come on, man.
Not tired, I'm lifted.
It's like, yeah, I know you smell.
What is that noise I hear? Are you doing laundry?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can hear the washing machine. That's
I guess so.
Pretty good.
Props to Zoom. Or maybe not. Maybe that's something that should be filtered out.
Yeah, I think if I had a better mic, it probably would be filtered out. I just use the iPhone mic, and that's it. Any weekend plans?
I might be interviewing Doug Lane tomorrow about how one of his videos got the axe on YouTube for some ridiculous. I mean, I really need to read up on the specifics of what he was accused of, but it seemed like a case of an algorithm picking up a hint that something might be offensive and just better ban this, preemptively. So he's trying to get his video reinstated and has had no luck yet, and he's wanting to tell his tale.
I always enjoy your conversations with Doug. His perspective.
He's one of the the good ones on the ideological left. He's a free speech guy. He's not catering to the people who say, "Oh, speech is violence. We must control speech." One of the authors in his that he publishes, Ben Burgess, he was just on Rising, which is a political show that I watch pretty much daily. And every time he's on, he always mentions that Doug Lane of Zero's Books is a free speech fundamentalist, and that's one of the few places on the left where you can actually say whatever it is you think needs to be said. But he's in constant danger of being canceled. I don't read the comments and to his videos, but I've heard that the sharks are circling in the comments. Smelling that blood in the water. So usually when I talk to him, he only wants our conversations to be on the vault. He doesn't want them to be, publicly available, because then the people who are sniffing for weakness will, they're likely to find something objectionable in a C-ROM podcast conversation. But this one I think he'll want to be public.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Signal?
No, what is that?
It's supposed to be right-wing Twitter, or free speech Twitter. But if you're on Twitter, the idea that your speech is inhibited by Twitter means you're a right-winger. But anyway, supposedly it's blowing up. I joined it, but I'm not really following anybody, so there's not, from my perspective, there's nothing happening there. And my major problem with it is it looks like Twitter. I really don't like the Twitter interface. So I don't expect that that's going to be blowing up for me.
What about Twitter don't you like?
Oh, it's a long list. It's just not very intuitive. For years, I didn't know how to read comments because, you'd click on the link that says comments and it would open up a comment field. It's like, no, I just want to read it. So somebody told me, no, you have to click on the body of the message. I'm like, but it's not a hyperlink. Why? It's not marked as a link. What would indicate visually? What would indicate that that's a link? Nothing. That's just all over Twitter. And the thing that you can't edit, you tweet something and then you spot a typo, you can't fix it. You have to tear it down, just deep six the whole post and do it again. But maybe somebody commented already, so I don't know. There's a lot I don't like about Twitter, that has nothing to do with the culture of Twitter.
Yeah, I had a Twitter account early on in 2010, and I only used it on the desktop. Honestly, I never had a personal smartphone until COVID happened, and
Wow.
my phone would not work at my house because we don't have very good cell reception here, so I needed to have Wi-Fi calling. And I went and got a burner $30 smartphone. So yeah, I've never been real into social media or anything like that. Mainly because I never had a personal smartphone. I've had one for work for a long time, but kept a flip phone for decades after they were obsolete.
Yeah, I thought about going back to my first smartphone was god awful, and I thought, oh, if this is what smartphones are about, forget it. And I went back to a dumb phone for a time, but basically I got in before the cheap phones were actually good. Now cheap phones are really good. Most of them. Let's see. So what does a $30 phone look like? Or I mean, I'm sure it just looks like a black bar, but what do you get for $30?
Yeah, I mean, it's like an Android phone, and it's AT&T. I mean, it comes with all these apps already loaded on it, and it's weird because I think they like record data more than a normal app would.
Huh.
I don't know. Everything's called Go on it. So Gmail Go, Maps Go, and I don't know. It seems like there's more of a tracking component or like a data collection component, maybe.
Oh, that's how it can be so cheap, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
They're selling the phone at a loss, and you're bringing data instead of money.
That's what I think. Because it works pretty well, and I can, do quite a bit with it.
Do you know how much RAM it has?
No, not very much. It doesn't have very much storage on it, but I don't know how much memory it has. And it's 16 gigs of storage.
Yeah, that's not much.
Yeah.
Couldn't take many videos with that.
No, the camera sucks too, and the audio sucks. And it was interesting because I couldn't initially get Wi-Fi calling on it. It was really annoying because I got the stupid phone for Wi-Fi calling and then it wouldn't work until I upgraded the operating system, and then it would allow Wi-Fi calling after that.
All right. After there. Okay. $3:00. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the live stream going, but I'm going to crack open one of those beers.
A good compromise. I like it.
Can you see me? I don't have Zoom. It's not on the top of either of my devices here.
Yeah, I see you, but in the Zoom. Oh, Natty Daddy. 8%. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
That's like 3 beers in one.
Good start to a Friday night.
Yeah, I dig it. Man, I wish I had a camera I could show you these fizzies we got here, man. We have so many different flavors and types, so it's pretty neat.
There's a lot of different things I could go for down at the convenience store, but I tend to select based on price, and the Natty Daddy is the second cheapest beer down there. The first cheapest is Busch Ice.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Which will be my second beer. All right.
Yeah, I think this evening I'm going to go on a leaf bag collection excursion. Try to go down nice neighborhoods where they rake their leaves and leave the bags out on the side of the road.
Oh, for compost?
Yeah, for compost. I've been watching a lot of permaculture videos, and that's like a thing people do. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I used to snag bags of grass clippings.
Yeah.
It's like,
When I was at the So I was known as kind of the weird composting guy, and so a lot of my coworkers would bring their grass trimmings and leaves and things like that, and it was pretty awesome. But I don't have that right now.
All right, I'm gonna employ a pretty cool feature of this program right now. So I'm gonna just pull in a dot pattern, like say that one. Just drop it in there, and now I can just grab a pen. Let's go with a larger nib, and I can draw in that dot pattern. That. Right. So you're one of the folks who does or does not watch The Mandalorian. That's my major division in the world these days. There are people who watch The Mandalorian and people who don't.
I do not. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. It's okay. I gotta remember how to talk to people who don't watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new Star Wars except the one with Jar Jar Binks.
Well, that was from the 90s.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I haven't, as far as like the new ones.
As far as what?
Like the newer ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole new Star Wars like series, right?
Yeah, there were the three sequel movies, which were terrible, each one worse than the previous one. And then there was Rogue One, which was pretty good. It had its flaws, but it was pretty good on the whole. And then there was Solo, a Star Wars story, which had a few nice elements, but for the most part, it was really just unnecessary. It's like, nobody asked for this. Nobody really wanted to see, 17, 18-year-old Han Solo and how he got his start. It's like, unnecessary. Nobody was clamoring for that. But anyway, that one bombed so bad that they canceled all their other freestanding, like solo, individual character movies.
Yeah, I got real busy in school and like hyper focused on Collapse and like right after high school, and so I haven't really been in touch with pop culture for a long time, and so I haven't watched very many movies or TV shows since like early 2000s.
I just got a TV this year. I'd gone decades without, but I'd been watching lots of TV programming just on a small screen, like on a tablet. Now I have a proper TV. Let's see.
TV like over 10 years ago, and it's like 32 inches. I just hook my laptop up to it. Works fine.
I don't even remember how big my TV is. I'd have to go to my Amazon order history to find out. Let's see. I'll do that. Your orders? Past, we'll just say 2020. And scrolling. My building is locked now, so I can't get deliveries here anymore. I have to have stuff shipped to somebody else, and then they bring it to me. Here it is.
Anything else?
It is. I have a 43-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart Roku LED TV. And it cost about the same amount of money as my phone. $230.
You ever heard of a Raspberry Pi?
Raspberry Pi? Yeah, I have.
Okay, like to where you can make a regular TV a smart TV.
Huh? I hadn't heard of people using Raspberry Pi for that, but I'm not surprised. Sounds like a good use.
What context have you heard it in?
I don't remember. I don't really have a memory for tech stuff. But it's it's just a very cheap, stripped down CPU, right?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. Like they were using it at my job for monitor, and they had a Raspberry Pi and had like a kind of like a gallery of rotating websites that they wanted people to see. I think the monitor was a touch screen, so they could interact with it.
Ah, that sounds like a very informed and proper use of that technology. My oldest would probably have more to say about it than I do. There's another
He's into
super,
tech.
yeah, he's smart that way. But there's another super cheap, I guess it's a variation on the Raspberry Pi, Arduino. You familiar with that?
Arduino.
Basically another super cheap computer that people are using in all kinds of ways. Thing you might be interested in. People use it as a soil monitor, so you can get continuous real time data on how much moisture is in your soil. All right.
Yeah, so there's at the agency I work for, they do a TV show on PBS.
Uh-huh.
And from time to time, they'll ask for some kind of GIS or map to be included in the TV show. And there's like this long trailway that crossed several counties, and they're doing a special on it. And they're wanting aerial imagery that they can zoom into in the program. But it's like, if I give them 3 counties worth of aerial imagery, it's going to be like 100 gigs of data. So having to figure out a way to chop it down so that it's not so heavy. And I think I have a decent solution. I'm going to present it to them.
What's your solution?
So what I've done is I basically took the area that they're interested in and divided it into squares. So I divided it into 100 squares. And rather than give them the actual data that goes down to like 60 centimeters, these squares are at like 1 to 200,000 resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I zoom in these squares, export the image of that extent as a TIFF file, and then 100 times, and then I stitch them back together, and then I have an aerial image that's at 1 to 200,000 rather than 60 centimeters, and so that it's only like 1.5 gigs rather than 150 gigs. So hopefully the 1 to 200,000 resolution is good enough. They're requiring a pixel. What is it, like horizontal pixels at like 3,000? And I think 300 dots per inch will get them there. But there's a freaking defect in the software that if I go over 300 dots per inch, it puts a blank output. It spits out a blank output. And so I don't have a solution for them if 300 DPI is not good enough.
How many times did you go into the office this week?
I went in on Tuesday for half a day, and then my office is in Austin, and our massage therapist and chiropractor is also in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So Abby and I will go to the office, and then we'll leave for our massage therapist half day. And then I was supposed to be in the office all day yesterday, but I had a training, and so could just do that from my room.
Right.
Yeah, they're asking 50%. Nobody does it. My job is really hard to do from a 15-inch laptop with really shitty internet connection. So a lot of times I'll just save the heavy lifting for Tuesdays and Thursdays and kind of fuck off in the meantime.
Wow. You've just said that in a public live stream, but
no, I didn't.
I can guarantee you nobody from your work is listening to it.
Well, I mean, where I can. Heck, it's sometimes I can't mess around,
Yeah.
But this week I worked already an hour and a half over. I mean, I worked my 40 hours each week.
You heard that David Graeber died, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, he died.
Oh, wait, yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was at least a few weeks ago. Anyway, I was thinking about him because, so many people have 40-hour-a-week jobs that involve about, 6 hours of work. He wrote a whole book about it, Bullshit Jobs.
Yeah, I read that. I think I would be a duct taper.
A duct taper?
Yeah, a lot of what I do is just duct taping over shit that really needs whole new systems or real attention.
Right. Well, that's probably quite a valuable service to your employer. You keep things running without spending the money that, really needs to be spent.
Yeah, but sometimes I do things and just kind of muddle through them without the expertise or proper skill set or resources.
Man, Western civilization is built on muddling through. That is an art form and almost a science.
Yeah, muddling through and this kind of grit, right?
Muddling through and what?
And grit.
And grit, yes.
Just not giving up.
Did you see the Coen Brothers remake of True Grit?
Yes, I did. I really like the Iris DeMent version of that song, Everlasting Arms. I think it was the credits.
Oh. I don't remember the music from the credits.
Yeah, it was a good movie, though. Yep. Yeah, Jeff Bridges was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took place in Arkansas, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did indeed. Didn't look like Arkansas from my perspective, but
it was snowing in part of the movie.
Well, it does sometimes snow in Arkansas. Actually, I think they start off in Arkansas, but probably most of it takes place in Oklahoma.
You say your family's from Berryville, Arkansas?
Yes.
I forgot where it was that I saw this, but I remember reading something about like a really awful lynching that went down in Berryville, Arkansas.
Wow. Do you know when?
Have you ever heard about that?
I have not.
Like, yeah, it was like a bunch of black people were like murdered or lynched.
Well, Berryville was a sundown town when my mother was a little girl. Black people could work there, but they had to leave before nightfall.
Interesting. Where I went to high school, we were the Hayes Rebels, and our mascot was the Confederate flag, and our school song was Dixie. And we had just a handful of black kids in the school district, more in the area. But the thing was, it didn't used to be like that. It was the consolidation of two school districts. It was the Kyle Panthers and the Buda Bulldogs, and then once integration was implemented, they started a new school district, and the Confederate flag became the mascot.
It's like, what do you get when you cross a panther with a bulldog? A Confederate soldier? What?
Yeah, right.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
was,
quite make sense.
yeah, and it was like the mascot. We had two of them, or like the kind of icon or thing. It was like Yosemite Sam dressed up as a Confederate soldier, and then I remember it was like in the elementary school we had this giant mural of Robert E. Lee.
Good times. My high school mascot was a boring old blue jay. No controversy to be had there.
Yeah, I think it was like in 2000, the other school districts in our football conference or division wouldn't play against us.
Why not? Because they objected to your mascot, or because...
Yeah, right. Right, they objected to the Confederate flag. And then there was the whole controversy over, it's pride, not prejudice type thing. And, there's a big controversy.
Heritage, not hate.
You what?
Heritage, not hate.
Right, yeah. Depends who you ask.
Alrighty, so there's our crowd of people. And what am I looking for? Oh yes, I'm looking for the dialogue. There we go. All right. All right. More whites of the eyes. So Paul, did you take Spanish in high school, or where did you learn your Spanish?
I got super interested in Spanish in community college. I didn't really know in high school. So yeah, in community college, I wanted to minor in Spanish. And so, I got really into it. And I had a job where I worked in a kitchen. So I was always speaking Spanish with the other dishwashers and stuff. So I started to learn it pretty well. And then when I went to university, I tried to take my advanced Spanish course in the summer, and that freaked me out, so I dropped it and changed my minor to public administration.
Why did it freak you out?
I don't know, man. I got really stoned before I went to class, and it was just like super advanced, and I was kind of late in enrolling. I already missed a week, and yeah. So anyway, And then I don't know. I guess I just got too far into my own head about it, and so I just decided to do something else. But yeah, so pretty much after I stopped working in the fast food industry, I stopped speaking Spanish. So like I had an office job, and no one speaks Spanish there. So,
so it all kind of withered away.
Yeah, I don't really get to speak Spanish all that often anymore. But my new neighbor is a Mexican dude, and they speak Spanish over there. So I think I'll be able to use it there. Like otherwise, like when I get a haircut or I go to a Mexican restaurant or something, that'd be the only time I speak Spanish.
And at the Mexican restaurant, it's probably not necessary.
Unless it's muy auténtico and nobody there speaks English.
Do you have many of those around?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yeah, I mean, what, like just restaurants where no one speaks English?
Yeah.
Or authentic Mexican restaurants?
Oh, Mexican restaurants where nobody speaks English.
Yeah, sure. Like little taquerias or something like that.
Huh.
And especially, this area is really pretty segregated. Like, so a lot of times you go east of the interstate and you're in, Mexican or Hispanic enclaves, and there's not a lot of English there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's like an economic segregation along Interstate 35, and it's the east of the highway is prairie, and west of the highway is the hill country. That's really pretty, and people like the views and stuff. So the real estate west of the highway becomes super expensive, and the agricultural land east of the highway becomes cookie cutter subdivisions. But what's interesting or kind of ironic is that the prairie is actually prime farmland that they're covering up. There's only a little bit of prime farmland in the world. And so, an actual natural resource that would, should cost something or I think valued more than, a pretty view.
So I'm looking at a map and I see Interstate 35. Which side did you say was the Mexican side?
The east side of it.
The east side. Oh.
Yeah, that's the prairie. It's flat, and you get all the white people and wealthy people in the hills to the west.
I see.
That's basically from like of San Antonio through Austin. It's like that. San Antonio, it's pretty. Well, I guess it is pretty segregated in San Antonio. You have the west side. West San Antonio is where a lot of white folks are. South and East San Antonio and North San Antonio are kind of run down.
Yeah, it's where my son wants to move, is San Antonio.
What's he want to do there?
What he told me was get a normal job. And just
it's a good economy, man.
Yeah, live with friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be better than just sitting in his mother's house in Maryland, not going to school and not working.
Does he drive?
No, he does not have a license. He will surely need one in Texas, yes?
Yes, the public infrastructure or public transportation is lacking.
Well, it's totally lacking where he lives. He just doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, then okay. It would be more public transportation in San Antonio. They have a bus system, and if he's in the city proper, or I guess like in the old part of the city, it's urban.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in the suburbs, then suburban sprawl. But
yeah, I'm looking at the
neighborhoods.
I'm looking at San Antonio on the map, and it looks like a spider web. It's got the round ring roads that go around the city. in concentric circles. And then it's
Yep.
got the radiating out. It's got, Interstate 10 and 410 and 35 and 37. All kind of form a web there.
Yep, it is definitely suburban sprawl. But there are some old neighborhoods in the center of the city that are pretty darn cool. This whole area has been developed rather recently. Austin was still a pretty small town, even in the 90s. I remember the Real World Austin in 2005.
Oh, wow.
After that, I remember Austin just changing dramatically, the skyline and the people and business. It's a lot different. And San Antonio's the same way.
I think the last Real World I saw was Real World Seattle. And that was in the 90s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I didn't even see all of it. It was the one that I was familiar with. I knew, because I was living in Seattle, or maybe I had recently moved out of Seattle, but I knew Seattle, so I was interested.
That was one of the first ones.
Was it?
I think.
Huh.
Yeah. Did it have Puck in it?
I recognize that name, but I can't say for sure.
Yeah, it's been so long ago. But yeah, I think so.
Wrong one. Try again.
Yeah, but there's a lot of opportunity in San Antonio. I think that's really cool.
Well, hopefully he'll get it. He'll get going. What is happening here?
Can you hear that?
I hear something. Oh. Now I don't hear a thing.
Yeah, I put it on mute.
Okay.
The gyre's going.
I see. There we are. All right. Oh, it's only 3:30. It's light out.
I got 1 hour left.
There's one thing I could do that would really bring on the weekend officially. I'm thinking about it. I can't draw at all after I smoked weed.
Wait, say that?
I said I cannot draw at all after I've smoked weed.
Why not? Does it make you more creative?
No, it absolutely does not make me more creative. And more importantly, it really screws up my ability to keep stuff in proportion. No, it's definitely not a creative tool for me. It is it's the marker of moving from the work day to the not work day. I can edit audio if I've been smoking weed. I could probably edit video as well, but it's no good for writing and it's no good for drawing for me. Let's see.
Yeah, some days I just feel like a degenerate just smoking, especially now that I'm at home so much.
Well,
But
it affects
it's
different
weird.
people in different ways. I mean, if you can still do your work, if it doesn't interfere with it, what the heck? Why not? Go for it.
Right. But in certain settings, people have certain routines and kind of habits. So I like going somewhere to work so I don't have any temptations or distractions.
Right.
Yeah, but when I'm at home, I'm going to be at home mode. And
That means
certain things come along with that.
Yeah. Now, I have a friend who, does tech work from home, and he would not dream of trying to work without, smoking first or vaping, as the case may be. He absolutely needs that to get into his creative workspace. But for me, it is for after work. Let's see.
Yeah, for me, it's more like a performance enhancer, like, or maybe just like a mood enhancer. Like if I don't want to do something, then it can really kind of change that.
If I don't want to do something and I smoke weed, then I forget all about the obligation that I had to do the thing in the first place. It's like smoking of the weed is just the symbolic gesture of I'm not dealing with this today. I'll try again tomorrow. All right. There's our crowd scene. I'm calling it done. In at least one of these panels, I need to, actually depict the room, which is not my specialty. Probably this one. All right. Well, I did an hour and a half. I think I'm going to pack it in.
Right on, man. Well, it's good talking.